Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm just glad you're here. I want to take a quick second and say thank you to all the channel members. Thank you, thank you. I want to say thank you to anyone who comes in here and watches my knife and EDC content. Hits the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And if you just stop by to watch the knife and EDC content, thank you. I appreciate you. Today, we're going to look at my collection, and I guess you'd call it my favorite because it's my collection of USA made Magnacut EDC fixed blades. And we're going to do it in kind of an odd way where we're just going to go by size. So I've got fixed blades in all different shapes and sizes, right? I kind of have a fancy for them. And I try to look at them through different lenses, right? And Magnacut is something I really was kind of interested in. I've been really enjoying my TRM Bulldog in Magnacut, several other knives. I just think for me, it's just a really well-balanced steel for my urban EDC use. This is a little small neck knife. Comes with a Kydex sheath. Comes with a little chain there. You could also put it on a single ulti clip, but it is an Amsler Tools Pinion. Very unique little knife. Comes with extra O-rings if you want to give yourself more grip. It's skeletonized for weight relief and set up for balance, so it's very well balanced in your hand. A small box opener, cat food opener. Not a hard use EDC knife by any means, but super thin, slicey, not as pokey stabby as some of the others, but very, very sharp. Nice grind. These are made in the USA by Amsler Tools. Actually, one dude, and this is a small little guy. This is probably my smallest EDC fixie. Right at 4 inches. And one little thing it's got that's kind of interesting, of course you'd want to have it sheathed up. Great retention. It's got a little 1/4 inch bit driver here on the ass end of it. Again, I wouldn't want to use it for a lot of work, but in a pinch it'd be better than nothing. And you've also got this little pry bar type end. So really cool little knife. These guys are pretty economical, coming in I think about 110 bucks. You can find them on Amsler Tools website or on their Etsy. I'll leave you a couple of links, but this is the Amsler Pinion. The next smallest knife I've got, or close to it, is another neck knife. And I've also carried this with an ulti clip at an angle, but this is an Amsler Tools USA made Hurricane, mini Hurricane. Now we've got a full-size Hurricane, but this is the mini. So this is more of a street scalpel. This thing is very, very, very slicey, very sharp. It is Magnacut. It is got this kind of 80s splatter finish on it. It has a really nice titanium clip. Again, it's got a thicker grind, kind of a street Tanto, but it's slicey on both sides of the blade. And it is also, whoops, it is also super slicey, super pokey, super stabby. If you were in a situation where somebody was taking your Slurpee, this little knife is small. It's a solid piece of Magnacut. It also comes with extra O-rings if you want to soften it on your grip. Fits in the sheath perfectly, has great retention, weighs almost nothing. And this little guy is going to clock in at 4 1/4 inches. 4 1/4 inches for the Amsler Tools Mini Hurricane. I want to say this was right around 130. I could be a little bit off there. I'll try to leave links to all these in the description. Next, we come to a knife that you guys have seen if you've been around the channel for any amount of time. This is one of my OG early fixed blade small EDC knives. The Jakeb creates Chikadee. This particular one is course USA made out of Magnacut, solid piece of Magnacut with a Kyle Coonley Clean Work sharpening edge on it, which makes it the sliciest in the bunch. Just a fantastic little 5-inch knife. Smaller, this used to be my preferred EDC fixed blade size, and it still is one that I carry quite a bit because they're light. This goes in a pocket dropper from Oak City Leather Sheaths. I've also got a Kydex slit for it, but it's a great little knife. Nice piece of Magnacut. Take the scales off and you can see the CPM Magnacut behind the scales. That's where Jakeb puts all his blade steels on his different models. But that is a Jakeb Creates Chikadee in Magnacut. Got a couple more smaller ones here, and this is a very cool knife. One of my favorite small EDC designs. I've got a couple of them. This is the T.Denney Apprentice. This is a Gen 1 that is in Magnacut with an acid etched blade, full tang construction, and it's got this vintage caramel micarta scale on it that is just gorgeous. And guys, this is a absolute laser beam with a splinter digger. Got a nice little harpoon. Great little defensive blade if you had to use it as a defensive blade, but much better just overall EDC blade. I mean, light use. Of course, it's not a heavy use knife or a hard use knife, but it is an absolute winner. I've also got a Gen 2 in Crewwear where he added screws so you can swap these scales out or clean behind them, and he moved the plunge grind up about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a 1/16. Comes with a Kydex sheath. I put a little ulti clip on it. Just a great little knife. You could also wear it as a neck knife. It is going to be, where the Chikadee was 5 inches exactly, I think this guy comes in 5.5 inches. So we're moving on up, guys. We're getting into some more medium sized. I got one more little tiny one here, but this is a tiny, robust little kind of micro bushcrafter, if you will. It is a LT Wright Frontier First. If I'm not mistaken, it's the smallest knife in LT Wright's collection. I picked it up at DLT, and I picked up a pretty basic one by design. It doesn't have any liners, but it does have a nice micarta handle. It is Magnacut, and this knife with this leather sheath were 95 bucks. Very sharp spine, strikes a ferro rod like nobody's business. Would be a great survival knife, would be a great just auxiliary knife. I carry it in my pocket, but it also mounts very well on your belt. I'm not a big horizontal carry or vertical carry guy, but a small knife like this that rides up high, when I sit down in my truck, I don't feel it. It's not something that causes a problem, and it's very, very slicey. Thicker blade stock. So this one's going to be a little bit more, considerably more rugged. Like I say, a micro or mini bushcraft knife. Now this one's going to come in a little bit shorter than our Apprentice. Nope, it's same size as the Apprentice, 5.5 inches. So we've got, on our small side, we've got our Amsler Tools Pinion, our Amsler Tools Mini Hurricane. We've got our Jakeb Creates Chikadee, our T.Denney Apprentice, and then we'll get to a few more that I consider medium, for me, medium large size knives. So this is one of my Axial knives, Alpines. And these knives were sent to me over various times from Alpine to check out, and I'm super appreciative. I really like everything about these knives, from the price point, which is, if you're looking at, this one is in titanium and it's a Wharncliffe. This one is in G10 with a Tanto DLC coated. So if I was going to get G10 and stone washed, it's going to run me right at about $189. USA made, Magnacut, very ergonomical, very slicey, great urban EDC knife, and even a great hiking knife. This one, if you choose titanium handles and you choose the DLC, I think they range from $189 in this without DLC to about $239, maybe $249. So very reasonably priced. I think they're fantastic knives. They are both great slicers, just laser beams. The DLC is super slicey, has a little bit more aggressive sounding grind, but just a great, great knife. These guys are both winners. I can't say enough about them. I carry them all the time. Huge fan, and they are the Axial knives Alpines, and they're both in Magnacut, and I think they're both very economically priced for USA made. Great, great knives. So finally, we come to one of my favorites, and this is a custom from Dustin Driver Defense, about 45 miles away from me. I was able to track him down and track this knife down at the Nashville Custom Knife Show. This is the Driver Defense Splinter. So Dustin makes folders, he makes slip joints, he makes swords, for God's sake, if you look at his Instagram. And I'll link his Instagram when I show this knife. But this is a medium-sized, I would say hard use beast of a knife. A knife that has a super thick spine that I feel like I could punch through a car door because it's so just rigid. It's just a nice, thick, solid piece of Magnacut. Heat treated to about, I think he said 63, 64. You've got your Driver Defense logo on one side, Magnacut on the other, the USAA flag, G10 handles, that the fit and finish on this really neutral handle that has a nice little choil built into it just feels great, guys. I mean, this is probably one of my favorite knives. It's the heaviest in this collection because of its thickness, of course, in this collection of Magnacut USA fixed blade knives, and it's going to be the longest. So it's going to clock in right at 7 1/8. Now, we did not measure yet our axials. They're both going to be the same size, and they're going to come in right under 7 inches. So great sizes, kind of all over the board. But to me, Magnacut, I know, has kind of been all the rage in the knife world since I've been in it. It was a new steel when I got in it, you know, developed by Laren for the knife industry. And I've slowly been collecting it, collecting different knives, both folders, both fixed blades, and I've sharpened a lot of it. I've cut with, and when I say cut with, we're talking cardboard, we're talking paper, we're talking cat food bags, we're talking food, we're talking your basic things. I'm not hard using many of these knives, but these are all, I think, really nice knives, all made in the USA. Prices pretty much varying. I would say if you were looking at, and I'll get you, like I say, links in the description, but if you're looking at prices from lowest to highest, you'd probably go lowest, second lowest, third lowest, fourth lowest, fifth lowest, sixth lowest, seventh lowest, eighth lowest, ranging anywhere from $95 to right around $300 for the custom. But guys, that's my collection currently today of Magnacut fixed blade knives, USA made Magnacut fixed blade knives. Hope you found it enjoyable, somewhat informative, maybe saw some cool knives that you hadn't seen before, but I appreciate you watching. If you're so inclined, hit the like button. If you're so inclined, hit the subscribe button. But if you're really a hero, look out for the guy or gal to your left, look out for the guy or gal to your right, look out for each other, go forward with love in your hearts, and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.